All right.
Oh, hey,
Here we are again.
back in the saddle again.
We got it working for one more week.
One more week.
We actually upgraded our new cable come in, and it doesn't look like we're glitching right now.
It's amazing how good something works if you pay for it instead of stealing.
and it's actually like semi the proper length right there.
Yeah, it's not.
It's 15 feet instead of 100.
100, yeah.
Whatever it was.
You can never have too much, I say.
That's right. Hell yeah, TJ. 7:30 on the dot.
Yeah, man, you know us. We're never late.
So we have, if all works out right, we have Chris Kearns.
Yep.
Will be on here in about 15 minutes or so. He is the promoter of the Wild West Shootout. He owned Macon Speedway for just a little bit. I'm not sure what his title is at USAC, but he has a lot to do. He does a lot of USAC stuff.
He's at least got a hat and shirt. I've seen
that.
Yeah.
So he's very into getting the kids involved and all that kind of stuff. And so we'll be glad to have him on and see listen to his insight into things.
Well, last week we talked to Owen Pittman, another great promoter, and I like hearing the promoter's perspective on things, and because we're fans and drivers and all that stuff, so you get a little better idea of how some things are rolling.
Definitely. Chris is a lot of fun. He's got a good personality. We were talking about it back when we were racing. He won a turkey award because he got first place out of the money and the points or something. But he's always down to take pictures and stuff and make a fun time of that. But we won't get into that too much till he gets on here. I do want to wish my buddy KV a happy birthday. He says he gets on here and watches, so if he actually does, then he gets a happy birthday.
Okay,
if not,
okay. Yeah, we'll see.
And other than that, you got some racing coming up this weekend, or at least helping.
Yeah. So our good buddies, Mint Pig Racing, Dave Donnas and Renee, they just landed today. They're getting everything sorted out on all that stuff. I got the motorhome cranked up yesterday, and as of right now, they're racing at Heart of Texas on Friday and RPM on Saturday. That's the plan, and if I can get the old 199 back on all four legs, then we'll probably be at RPM Saturday.
Right on. Yeah, I think we're gonna go be a spectator at RPM on Saturday, or help if y'all need help. I'm down for that.
Hopefully, I don't need no help.
Right. That's and you still got a couple gallons of 110 there. As a matter of fact, you have to take that with you.
I bought some 103 at Hunt County Thursday when we raced over there. I've never seen 103. And then the last time I raced before that, I think I got something. It was like 106.
Huh.
So I don't know why it's been changing, because it used to be like 102 and then 107 and 110 and 113 or something maybe.
I'm aging myself here.
I don't know.
But when I was a kid racing three-wheelers, we used to be able to go to Union 76 and just get 102. It wasn't even considered race gas.
Yeah.
It was just high-octane fuel. It was
just better shit.
Yeah. The low-end stuff at that point was probably 95 or something, and with 102 being...
We do a lot of avgas stuff. We'll go and get some of that airplane gas and, put some top oil stuff, all that top lube, whatever the fuck you want to say in there.
I put with the LS, the only thing that we're doing is advancing the timing more. So you kind of, I guess, need some octane for that. It's not high compression. And I just go get the Lucas octane booster in it and pour in it. That's what.
Yeah, I just like the smell of race gas. I'll spend the money just so that it smells good.
Yeah.
Nothing sucks worse when you're in the shop and your eyes are burning from fucking pump gas.
Trick, yes. You used to be able to find Trick stations around, right, Bill? Is that what you're talking about? Because it seems like here and there would be Trick stations for Trick fuel in town back in the day.
Well, that's a good name.
And
we just got come and goes.
Yeah, and the one local to you does it on their pizza.
Jesus, yeah.
That guy got fired.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, we can now eat pizza there. That was gross.
All right, boys, just topped off my drink, got everything else happening because you know it's all about the setup. That's right. So, Skinny, we want to thank you. We got our money and stuff for all you help and
greatly appreciate
all
Skinny's
that
help.
And Stacy has been on it. She's stopping by the store and getting tri-tip. So we're starting to stock up on the tri-tip already.
We're ready.
Starting to get ready, get that all ready. We were discussing making another barrel so that you have 2 barrels to cook in. And
we've already ruled out we can't use the plastic barrels to cook in because they crack.
Right. Makes the food smell fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
real hard to chew.
Chris Candelaria, Skinny's Automotive. If y'all have any automotive needs out in Bakersfield, California, get by and see him.
Definitely.
Talking about the trick, yes, at the Red Barn back in the day. Yeah, I'd forgot all about trick fuel, but that's funny. Everybody remembers stuff.
Yeah, you got to remember something. He probably didn't remember it until you said something.
Right? Yeah, maybe not.
That's how that goes.
Yeah, but
yeah. So I got to race for the first time back in the States Thursday.
Oh yeah,
went to the Tommy Davis Senior Memorial Race, and I don't know, had a decent run, I reckon, for the car. Ended up breaking an axle in the feature. Somebody got into me and it snapped her off. I was pretty pissed about it, but it wasn't that hard of a hit. But it was a hit that I feel like was unnecessary either way.
And those tires are, with those 10-inch tires on that car, are pretty vulnerable.
Well, you had to stick them out so far. Yeah. You know, I think I got like a 1-off with a 1-inch spacer on the left rear, and that's what most everybody runs. There's people with 0 offs.
Yeah.
And trying to get it, get it stuck out there. I wish we could run a floater or something. It'd save us a lot of money.
I drove the car 4 or 5 times, and then I tried to maintenance it, give it back to Billy, and I had to play pool, so I wasn't up there, and I'm just watching the My Race Pass app, and I can tell something's gone wrong, and I'm just like, man, I hope I didn't leave a bolt loose. Like, my anxiety's going through the roof because I don't want it to be. He graciously let me drive his car and everything, and I don't want it to be my fault that he got a DNF.
Well, the only thing that I found loose was the shifting linkage, and I'd put that on. So, no, I wish I was. There, Jonathan, we're going to be, as we mentioned just a little bit ago, our buddy Dave Donegan, Donna's with the Mint Pig from Australia is in, and he's going to be running his stock car at Heart of Texas and RPM this weekend. So I'm going to be with him doing a little pit crewing, and I might run the factory stock at RPM. So that's the plan. But that is going to be a great show over there, and those guys have really put together a good purse for that, and I know it's going to be a good time.
And I haven't given up on getting the factory stock together, but we may postpone it another year now.
Yeah. But you can always pay $385 a month on Amazon.
On Amazon, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. That would be that's race addiction right there.
Yeah. Well, so as much as I get to race, it probably wouldn't have that many races on it by the time I got it paid off, and as Martin said, 10 years.
It was actually over 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years worth of payments.
I mean, hell, my crates lasted that long, so I think it'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Buying stuff on time for your race car is a different level. Especially at our level, I think.
Yeah. Well, I always need something when I can't get it in time. And then I always, anytime I order something, I have the money. And then by the time it gets there, I need the money. So it's like, it's always, you can't have your cake and eat it too type deal. And you can't have your race car parts and afford them too.
Well, and I'm just a dumbass. I don't like to hire anybody here. I don't like to do anything. I like to do everything myself. And
except for smudge pots.
yeah, yeah. I love have Billy come in and weld and do some stuff on that. But that's the thing. But doing it that way, I either have money or I have time.
Yeah,
I don't have them both because
I feel that
you
that.
either hustling your ass off and doing good, but you don't feel like working on anything, or you have all the time in the world to do it, but you don't have the money.
Yeah, you ain't got the money to do it. That's usually how I am.
We have Ritter race cars here.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what class?
Is it the Crown Vics or I got like some the what do they call it, the Fireballs maybe, or stocks or something? I don't know. That'd be cool. Yeah, I like the rental race car deals like we were talking about last week with Owen. He's got those Crown Vics at the asphalt track they ruled out. He said somebody fucked one off this weekend. It was the one that me and Chris had just put a cage in. So that one's pretty fresh. We gutted. I was with him when he bought it. We gutted it, put a cage in it. So I'm glad the guy didn't die. I did most of the
Owen has a Fireball class down there.
Yeah, so I think that's what I ran Jared's car in December.
I was say I've talked to him, see if I can get the 723 in one.
Probably.
Maybe make a special concession for it. I'm not going to run there regularly or anything.
Yeah. It's big.
Fireballs probably supposed to have a steel body and
those guys. But I think you have to have a carburetor, but also you can have a 4-barrel with a certain motor and then 2-barrel with a certain. Because I ended up having the crate, so I could run the 4-barrel.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was other Leaf Spring cars. Yeah, in it. That's what beat. I think that was every car that beat me that weekend was Leaf Spring.
We'll talk to him. Maybe he can.
He's easy to work with. I ran in there with a Crown Vic, so
yeah, make a little adjustment on it or something, and see if we can run that. If there's anything left after the 600.
Yeah, there will be.
The Subatec 600, October 3rd.
Yep.
4th and 5th.
Yeah, that's
3rd and 4th.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th.
Pit party. Pit party on October 3rd.
Yeah, Jackson James
band.
We had to see him play Friday night.
Friday night,
right up on the road here, and
July 4th.
Very entertaining. The bass player was all over the place. He came and sat on the boat and played for a little bit.
Yeah, he come sat on our boat and played, and he's a lot of fun. They're good, awesome music, awesome musicians, but they're good entertainers too. Just like you say, the bass player, he's has the wireless rig, and so he's all over the place playing the bass. Jackson, he just really gets into his music when it comes to doing the solos and stuff. He's as fun to watch as he is to listen to.
There at the end of the night, I watched. I seen the guitarist put his guitar down. He was dancing with somebody. I said, "Well, hell, they're doing everything over here."
Yeah, Camo rental cars too.
Yeah.
His last rental needs repairs.
Yeah, got rolled a little bit, but he sent me a video of it running the other day. He was sitting in it, so I guess it wasn't too bad. They're just getting some repairs and a new body put on it.
So my only thing, I run the LS. It does have a cam in it. Other than that, it's completely stock, but it's injected. So a lot of the rules, if they say one quarter on gas or whatever, kind of writes me out. But being that it's not super built, and Owens seems cool. I don't know. We'll see.
Like I said, I think he's he would be more open to trying it.
Yeah,
because it is very.
Okay. We got when's the Little Tex? I believe that's August 16th.
August 16th,
I think.
Oh no!
And
how am I going to be ready by then?
So we got Chris Kearns coming on here, and he's made it in. He's looking pretty serious about it.
It looks very serious.
Here we go. Hey, buddy. Can you hear us?
I hear you.
All right, you're on.
Yeah, I'm a little. I've never done it on my phone before, so I'm a little messed up.
That's all right.
We're all a little messed up.
Yeah, it works.
That's all right. Yeah.
Glad you made it on here, and
Yes. No.
no, you're good the first way.
Yeah.
All right. I'll leave
That, so Chris Kearns, race promoter and old racer. We raced together way back when. Now, your big announcement this last week, you promote the Wild West Shootout, and you moved it back to Central Arizona Raceway.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was amazing having it at Vado Speedway because the place is probably the nicest dirt track I've ever been to. It's definitely the nicest dirt track I've ever promoted a race at. And we won Dirt Late Model Race of the Year 2 years in a row, but it was very, very hard to get a crowd there. So it was just pretty important to get it back to Arizona when we could, and the opportunity came up, and they've done a lot of work at Central Arizona Raceway, so it was time to move it back. We got the opportunity, and we got it done.
So what you say is hard to get a crowd there. What's the like? Why as opposed to? Do you have any ideas on it or?
Well, I mean, it's cold there in January weather. There's not as much to do. There's more to do than people think. I mean, heck, a lot of the racers just like going to Top Golf when they're at the Wild West Shootout in Arizona, and there's Top Golf closer at Vado than there is in Phoenix, but it just not a lot to do. I mean, Las Cruces, New Mexico, I kind of like the town. It's a cool town, but it's not a destination.
Right.
You know, Phoenix is a destination. People fly to Phoenix to do stuff. There's just a lot to do. The thing I got to coach people on at Central Arizona Raceway is that really they think, okay, Casa Grande, not in Phoenix, between Tucson and Phoenix, but honestly, it's the same distance from the Phoenix airport as Arizona Speedway was.
Yeah.
So it takes the same amount of time to get there. So it's a pretty good location. Brad and Jerry have done a ton of work to the place, making it nicer, and just continue to make it nicer. Now that we're bringing this race there, they're pretty excited about having a national late model event there, so they're going to keep working on it. So it should be a great deal. And that's where it started. I mean, Ernie Mincy started the Wild West Shootout as the early thaw, I don't know, 20-some years ago.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think your advertisement says 20th annual.
Yeah, 20th annual for the Wild West. I think the Wild West Shootout started in 2006, but before that, it was the early thaw, which I believe started like in 2001. Heck, I think Steve Drake won the very first one.
Oh, right on. So, yeah, I was. It was funny. I was thinking about that the other day. How long it had been happening, and but it said 20th on there. Now, last Tuesday, you were busy on a Tuesday night, and I talked to you about like involving kids and stuff. But tell us a little about your Tuesday night affair last Tuesday.
Pretty proud of this because, you know, they built a dirt track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is the greatest racetrack in the world, or the most famous racetrack in the world. Put a dirt track there, and I'm the one who get to promote the dirt track events at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The BC 39 was last week. And by chance, I got to, just by chance that you were wanting to talk about kid stuff. I always like kid stuff. You know, as you know, I've always, I mean, at the Wild West Shootout, we have 3 main events a night. 3 times a night, I go up in the grandstands to get a kid out, bring him down to the victory lane, give them the same trophy and cowboy hat that the winners get. So I've always been into kid stuff, always. Well, the BC 39 was being held at the exact same time that Battle of the Brickyard, which is a 500 entry quarter midget race, also at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Tuesday night, we actually brought all the kids over, which ended up being 88. Not all of them could make it. Some of them already had plans before they found out we were doing this. Brought them on the front stretch for the what do you want to say? Opening ceremonies, national anthem. It was kind of cool. They appreciated it. They had fun doing it. The very next night, we did drivers at driver introductions before the main event, and just brought 20 over. But those 20 kids had earned their position out of hundreds in the petty performance edge, which they got that because of grades and sportsmanship. So we brought them over, introduced them to the crowd. So I love doing kid stuff, kid stuff and trophies. It's about
Yeah.
my two favorite things in racing.
Yeah.
Maybe the only two part I'm good at.
And like, I've known you a long time, and ever since you started promoting trophies, having super nice trophies has been on your deal. Every event that I know that you've ever done, you've had awesome trophies. And I know for a fact, because you get some trophies from me, that you don't scrimp on what you give the kids either. They're not plastic. Like, you make sure they're getting good trophies also.
Yeah, not only will I not give my winners plastic and particle board trophies, I won't give the kids that either. I like the kids to get cool things also. Yeah. And whether I'm building them or you're building them or Kyle Heckman's building them, I like to make sure I have cool stuff. And I do. I get a lot of, even at the BC 39, Kyle did a pretty cool pagoda. I call it a check because it had the amount on it, but it was actually still a trophy. A lot of compliments. Doug Bull's the president of the Speedway, even made a comment about it. So we're always doing cool stuff.
Yeah. And like, there's times that I've built you trophies completely, but a lot of times you just ask me for parts because you have your own idea and you've got wood backs and you've got all this stuff. So I send you parts, a little package of parts, and then you make awesome trophies from there. You take it on and do better, and that's cool too, just to be a part of,
All in, yeah. I think it is cool because hey, a guy, you get to see Kyle Larson stand in victory lane holding a piece of, something that you built.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's cool for everybody involved in doing the trophies with me. And I'll tell you that. Go ahead.
It's, Davenport got a bunch of them. I think it was Davenport one year at the he had a picture of his car, just all kinds of them out. He
does a good job of when obviously Bobby Pierce probably has the most of our hardware, but every time that Davenport comes, he does a really good job of getting back. They put the car on display in front of the truck and trailer. They put the trophies and all the awards and checks and do a really nice picture and always send that. They do it for their social media, but they always send me a picture and I appreciate that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, when you had the sprint cars at the Wild West, Tony Stewart got one of mine. And
yep, he did.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And I like coming over here around right before Wild West Shootout and seeing all the big sheriff badges that's getting cut out. Those are always cool.
And then we mount them to real bourbon barrel heads. Try and always be Jim Beam or Buffalo Trace, big bourbon barrel heads is what we do. And my partners probably don't like hearing this, but my budget, I don't have a budget. I don't even know what the word budget means. I probably spend $20,000 at the Wild West Shootout on everything we give away.
No shit.
Yeah, because we do, every main event winner gets 5 things. So every main event winner gets a trophy, a check, which is a metal late model door, which I've always done, a bottle of liquor. We always relabel a bottle of liquor every year, a cowboy hat, and a canvas bag of money, kind of represent the Old West. And then my champions, of course we do awards for everything, fast time and hard charger, and everybody gets a metal check for all that. My champions get what I try to make the coolest trophy I can, a Stetson beaver cowboy hat, Montana Silversmith belt buckles. I try and go all out for the champions.
Yeah,
that's badass.
So what all do you have?
I still got contractors working at my house right now. Luckily, they know that I'm on this, so they're just leaving me alone.
Yeah. I know a lot of what you do, but for other people, the Wild West Shootout. I didn't realize that you were promoting the dirt track at Indy, and I know you're having affiliation with USAC, and just kind of what all do you have your fingers in as far as race promotion?
Nowadays, pretty much you've named it. When I moved back here to Kentucky, which, I'm just out here working, or I'd be sitting in my basement right now talking to you. As you can see, I don't know, wait till I got to turn that. And that's all you see all that? Yeah. I feel like I live in paradise. So because of that, I don't, I don't like leaving home. So I don't promote as much as I used to. I tried to, I was probably doing, oh my God, 65 races a year, and it's too much. So now I really focus on the Wild West Shootout because it's a lot of work. I tell everybody that, it's one thing when you have a racetrack and you bring in a sanctioning body. It's already your racetrack, and then you bring in a sanctioning body that runs the racing part of it. But then it's more difficult when you have a racetrack and you try and do a big national event unsanctioned. Then the way you could possibly have work is when you go to someone else's racetrack and lease it or make an agreement to run everything for 6 nights of racing, and it's an unsanctioned. So we have to handle every bit of it. And especially when it's a couple thousand miles away, it's a lot. It's a lot more than any other way. I mean, the only one I know it's like this is, the dome race. And I would never want Cody Summers' logistics, how he pulls off that dome race. I don't believe I have the ability, the patience, any of it. His race is amazing, but he does the same thing. He has to go into somebody else's place away from home. He has to build a damn racetrack on top of it, but it's a lot of work. Yeah. So it's the Wild West Shootout's my main focus. And then I just kind of do random stuff for USAC. The BC 39, and now this year's Sprint Week, which we're getting ready for in just a couple weeks at Indy. And then I helped them out with Terre Haute this year with a few races. I went and helped out they also leased Lincoln Speedway Park, so I just helped at a few random races. We're actually leasing Route 66 Raceway in Amarillo in October and running a USAC national event there, so I'll do that one.
I would say that's close to us because it's Texas, but it's really not.
Yeah,
that's like 10 hours away.
Yeah, in Kentucky, I'm closer to some people in Texas than they are to other people in Texas.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's pretty much what I do. Next year, I kind of plan to even slow down a little bit more. Probably just do the BC 39 and Shootout, and that's because I don't know if I've sent you pictures, Lee, but I got this crazy idea to build a donut truck.
Yeah, you've had that. So I don't think you've sent me pictures, but you've talked to me about the donut truck years and years ago. So
I started it in June of 2020 during COVID. I came up with this bright idea during COVID. Well, while I wasn't making money, I decided to go out and start spending money. But it's pretty close to being done, and I believe when it's finished, it will be the coolest looking food truck in the United States.
So I'm going to tell on you right here, kind of, and it's not a bad thing, but he doesn't do anything second rate. Yeah. Like I'm going to say Santa Maria, your house in Santa Maria, not in the greatest neighborhood, but immaculate, copper gutters, just in insanity, like with a super nice house.
Crackheads would have those gutters ripped off.
Yeah, I don't. It's good and bad, right? It's nice having nice stuff, but I spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of work on top of it. I see I have a little. I feel like my race cars always made sure everything looks good. I just like my stuff. I just like nice shit. I don't know what to say. I like nice stuff, but having a little bit of OCD, and I mean that in a serious way. Like I cannot have anything sit crooked on my desk.
Yeah.
So I don't tie my shoes 7 times. Don't get me wrong, but but I do have it a little bit, and boy, it wears you out. It makes me tired.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm looking at that fence behind you going, man, that'd be a good spot to stack up a whole row of old dirt cars. I'm running out of places at my shop,
If you go in my basement or in my shop, you definitely know I'm in racing. But if you just go in my house or around my yard, you have no idea I'm even into cars.
So I don't know if you can see the comments, but Skinny says, and he had the coolest street stock and baddest pit cart and the coolest bathroom at his house.
Yeah, I guess I did have it's funny you say that. I'm just now, as I was getting ready to call you guys, I was finishing my bathroom in my shop, and it's a super nice bathroom in my shop. It's got marble walls in the shower and everything's black and it's really nice. Still not as nice as my bathroom was at my house in Santa Maria. I can't believe he remembers that or anybody remembers that, but I think it's because everybody came to that party we had at the house that time.
Skinny said, "I never forget a place with a good shit."
And you talking about like the OCD back way, like when I started running the orange car in 05 or something like that. I mean, you guys were always decked out with the nice matching purple uniforms, and like you guys looked like a serious race team no matter what, that was always.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was kind of a promoter before I was promoting myself, right? Promoter before I was a promoter, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though we were just street stock racers, I did try and do that. I like to be professional looking. I didn't always act professional, but I tried to be professional.
And always been a great salesman. I've always thought of you, no matter what, as a great salesman too. And
I didn't think I was. I don't think I am a great salesman, but I do hear that, so I must be better than I think.
Yeah. So like Peyton Taylor made a post about the track bashing and stuff. I know way back when you said you were like kind of P.T. Barnum's words, as long as they were talking about it, it's good. Is that kind of still your stance? What are your thoughts on it nowadays?
No, that's not my, I guess in a certain way you could feel that way, but that's really not my thought anymore. Unfortunately, people have taken it to a whole new level on social media.
Right.
I mean, social media is great and horrible. And it blows me away that people will say stuff on social media. Listen, if you won't say it to somebody in person, don't say it on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are horrible. It's pretty unbelievable. Like, I don't even take reviews. You look at a review on Google, you can't even take those serious, because you'll see I check hotel reviews just because, but you'll see 25 5-stars in a row, and then one person's a 1-star and worst place they ever stayed ever. It's filthy. It's horrible. The staff is horrifying. They're rude. You can't take one person. I mean, it's crazy. No. So yeah, I think maybe nowadays it might actually, the P.T. Barnum logic might hurt a little bit.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I read something one time that a guy talked about, they would go talk to their employees that had some bad reviews. And this one guy in particular, he was pretty proud that he hadn't had any bad reviews on any of his work. And the boss tells him no. He says, "You've had bad reviews. You just haven't broke the threshold of average. We expect you to get X amount of bad reviews, because those are just going to come whether you did good work or not.
You're not working enough."
Yeah, right. He's like, I don't remember the number, but he's like 15% bad reviews we don't even worry about till you get up to 25% bad reviews, and then we start thinking there might be a problem. Just because.
Yeah, and it's everywhere. It really is. For a while there, I kind of and I was a little bit in denial about it, but I guess because we did a good job. But in my 1 year at Macon, I really didn't see anything. I didn't get negative stuff on social media. I mean, I got a lot of positive. So during that time, and that's when I had first moved back here, I thought, well, man, it's worse in California, which is crazy, because you think it'd be hard for tracks in California. But then after a while, I noticed it's everywhere. It's not just California. It's just people complaining everywhere about everything.
I'd have the comments shut off on my Facebook page if I ran a racetrack. You want to bitch to on your own fucking page. Right. That's my thinking.
I mean, I don't like shutting the comments off, because like I said, I feel like most of our stuff is positive. I mean, Wild West Shootout stuff is positive. At the same time, somebody says something stupid, I mean, I got no problem deleting something. Well, it's not a democracy. It's my rules.
Yeah, 75% of the comments usually I see on racetrack posts is people bitching or people asking questions that's in the post. The answer is in the post.
Pretty common.
The gates open.
That's pretty common.
Post.
That's pretty common. Yeah. We always thought, my wife and I always joke about the whole rain out thing. People are that's the craziest thing for questions. People always say, if you rain out, when would you call it? I don't know. How would anybody know that? Or how
Right
much
after
rain do you
rain.
have to get before you cancel? I don't know how to answer those questions.
Hey, we had a track here in Texas cancel over the weekend because of the flooding, and it wasn't that they were flooded, but it was because of they were probably the closest track to it, and just you couldn't even get to them. It's a fucking
Wow.
tragedy deal, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I still seen people on there bitching about like, I can't believe y'all cancel. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
People just it's usually people that don't even go to those races. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 95% of the people you see complaining weren't going to show up anyway.
no, I feel like I've seen that no matter where I go. Most people complaining aren't even there.
And-
That's pretty
Right.
common.
Yeah.
You, I'm gonna say like you're approachable too. I mean, we've kind of been friends on and off, but like at racetracks, I feel like you're a fairly easy guy to just go talk to and be like, hey, that was. I'm going to give the example at Santa Maria one time. I don't remember what happened, but the track was really rough, and I just kind of walked by Chris, and because I never want to tell somebody how to do something.
Yeah.
But I was like, Bill Henderson has his cars here, so he's here, and he's a pretty good blade operator. I'm like, the guy might go down there and see what it'd take to get Bill on that blade, And I just like Chris was like, yeah, and then I kind of walked off. Like, there's no need to discuss it. And then an hour later, Bill's out on the blade. Now we didn't even have enough discussion. He might have already thought of that. He might have approached Bill before I got there, but like,
There's a lot about who's giving you suggestions too. I've had people give me a lot of suggestions like, this fucking idiot don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but it'd be a good idea, but I'm gonna let them know it.
Right.
Probably that grouchy old fucker probably was just wearing me out, and I'm like, fine, climb up there, get up there. But no, I don't know. I love Bill.
Well, yeah, it was one of the funny things too about that I remember is I've never seen him on a blade without a big old cigar, and so he was out there doing the track that day, and I when I noticed him, he didn't have a cigar, and so I know Brian Terry smoked cigars, and I'm like, hey, I go, you don't happen to have a cigar that I can take to Bill, do you? And he's like, sure. So I walked up on the flag stand at Santa Maria, and I just hold the cigar out when he comes around. He locked the brakes up on the grader, like the back four wheels came to a skid, and I took him that cigar out there, and he was like,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
That's funny that I can remember that Brian smoked cigars too. That's crazy. I can't remember where I set my keys, but I can remember that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And no, I try and be. I mean, like I feel like unlike a lot of promoters, I don't know. I feel like I have a like at Macon, they like took to me right away. I mean, everybody was very cool. They took to me. So I'll still go on social media and talk shit to some of the racers.
Yeah.
Just having fun with them, but they know that I don't feel like most promoters probably do that, but I'm just being me, and I'm just, just kind of hanging out with. I mean, I feel like even at most places, I feel like the racers become my friends, so I definitely try and be approachable. Nowadays, I'm never at a racetrack without my cowboy hat on anywhere. So I'm real easy to find, which is a good and bad thing.
And you've had like your Wild West, your team of people at the Wild West have, I know I've seen a lot of those names from since when I can remember. So, I mean, you've got a good team of people that tend to stick with you and help you through and can probably answer a lot of questions that you don't even have to get involved with. Like,
yeah, I think I have the best team in the country. I mean, I really do. I'm in January, so I can pick and choose my track prep people because no one else, they're not racing anywhere else. So, yeah. I mean, I bring my track prep team. I will say, I believe is the best track prep team in the United States. I mean, it consists of Chad Bowman and Lewis Breeden from Fairbury. Fairbury Speedway is pretty well known for amazing racing. Chad also goes and helps at Eldora for the big shows. Another guy on my team is Reese O'Connor, who owns Kokomo Speedway, who I believe is the best non-wing track prep guy in the country, but also can prep an amazing late model track. I mean, everybody comes from somewhere. I mean, my tech guys and race director out of like South Carolina and Georgia, hell, like track prep guys out of Indiana and Illinois. I bring a mechanic that his job is just to fix and maintain stuff all year out of Minnesota. I've got all my people that work for me in Arizona that are from there. And then I bring the people over from California that have been with me for, Melissa and Jason and Jessica and Stephanie. They've been with me a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm able to pick and choose who I think, Melissa has been part of doing Melissa and Jessica done my registration since I've been doing Wild West Shootout. Stephanie has scored for me for years. Jason Vance has been with me since Melissa and Jason have been with me since the beginning. I believe we're going into year 20. This is year 20 of them working for me.
Yeah.
So although people tell me I'm an asshole to work for, they seem to stick with me. But I think the reason is because when I'm being an asshole, Jason really won't say it, but Melissa will tell me. She'll be like, get out of the room. And I just know to, listen, I want things perfect. Everybody knows I want things perfect. I have high standards. I'm hard to please. At the same time, I make sure that everybody that works for me knows that I appreciate them working for me. And normally when I'm mad, 5 minutes later, I'm over it.
Yeah. Right. And different subject, but I've seen Blade, which everybody that doesn't know, I've seen him a couple times at Boot Hill now and got to visit with him briefly.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
That's been
He's actually went out and got a real job. But I will tell you that if I can get him this year, Blade will be part of my track prep team again. My God, he's turned into an amazing. He is so good at track prep; it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he just when you bought Macon, he kind of took that over, and I just reading from posts, but like he had to learn fast, but he did.
Well, he was taught by who Bob Sargent is super track prep, probably one of the best in the country, and Reese O'Connor. And that's who really taught him. I mean, yeah, he helped a little bit at Santa Maria. And of course, he's been in racing all his life. And of course, he's been a tire guy on a late model and a sprint car. So he knows what a track should be. He knows what he wants as a tire guy. So, but he learned quick, and he did the track for me the first time at at Macon, they loved him. And really one of the cool things was I was down in the pits one time, and one of the racers, one of the local late model guys there said, we were leaving. It's when I was selling the place, and he's like, man, he goes, we're really going to miss you guys. He goes, I'm really going to miss Blade. He goes, it's the first time in all the years of racing where the track prep guy actually came in the pits and bullshitted with the racers. Like, he was our friend. The track prep guy is never the racer's friend. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's just Blade.
Yeah,
that's just Blade. But that's a pretty good compliment.
So did y'all call him Blade because he blades the track, or
that's his name from birth?
Well, I mean, how lucky is that?
That is pretty amazing. Yeah, he runs a Blade, and his name is Blade. Yeah, that's totally.
I know a guy named Stoney that I mean, you can kind of guess what he gets pretty good at too. But yeah, that what a coincidence,
Yeah, so, I mean, that's not even why I named it. I didn't name him Blade because of heavy equipment or anything like that, or his grandfather ran heavy equipment. That had nothing to do with it. I just like the name Blade. That was it.
Well, my brother's son's name's Blaze. I don't know if he's going to be into pyrotechnics or something.
Right.
Well, there's other ways. Let's hope that's what he does, because there's other ways you can blaze.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? You got anything you want to talk about? Anybody you want to thank, or? I'll talk about the Wild West Shootout all you want. I think now that I'm back in Arizona, we'll get some more California people to come. I didn't get a whole ton even when I was in Arizona before. I mean, I always saw Jerry Stewart there. Mike Chambers. I think Mike Chambers even came to New Mexico. But I actually got a message the other day from Farron Stite saying now that it's in Arizona, she's coming. So having all the California people come out and see what an amazing event we have. And I think we do have an amazing event. We run a great event. I think it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks cool online. I want to try making it out there to watch at some point for sure.
It's you know what, it's cool because it's the one time we can get the national late model guys out there. I believe it's a very well run show. My staff does a great job of running it. And the Western theme is actually kind of cool. No, we don't have pyrotechnics and stuff, but I think we got a pretty cool victory lane celebration with the guns and
hell yeah.
Shooting the 6-shooters on the roof, and we always do a little extra stuff, cornhole tournament, golf tournaments, and then there's just lots of and plus it's the racers like it because it's not a lot of pressure from point racing. It's not, they're not racing World of Outlaws. It's easy on the racers. The West Coast guys can run with the national guys and, come out and run with them. But on top of that, there's a day off here and there and kind of relax. So, and like I said, I believe I got the best staff in the country, so they run a good show, and I'm pretty proud of them. But yeah,
and I know, not to throw you under the bus, but you have a pretty amazing right, left, center game that goes on out there.
Yeah, we got a pretty cool left, right, center game. We're gonna hell this year. I'm gonna try and add. I don't even know if I can do it. I want to add like barrel racing, and I'm gonna do a concert, and there's a lot of stuff. I'm all, I don't, like I said, I'm all about no budget, going big.
Right.
When Michael Rigsby, who is the GM of Flow, he was a partner of mine for a while, and when he bought in, he asked me, he's like, "So how do you budget for stuff?" And I'm like, "I don't." If there's something that costs 10 grand, and I think even if it's not going to make me $1, but I think it'll make the show cool or make it better a little bit, I'm just going to do it. But luckily I can do that. There's a lot of years and a lot of events that I do that I don't have that advantage, but with the Wild West, we do have that advantage. So it's kind of nice. When I talked about all the stuff we do for, the trophies and the budget, part of that is that all the kid trophies and stuff like that. And I can't do that at every race. I can't bring all the kids out every single time nowadays, because because of streaming, the main event is not the last race of the night anymore.
Yeah.
So I can't always have time to bring a kid out for the main event. And people probably don't think about that part of it, but that's the reason. A lot of people are home watching on TV, and it's crazy that we're rushed more for the people sitting on the recliner than we are for the people in the grandstands, but that's kind of how it's worked.
Talking about spending money in the early of which was halfway through what's been going on, but when you started using me to make trophies and we made those big $1,000 bills and $20,000 bills, you spent more on shipping those from my place to where they were going than most people probably spent on a season's worth of trophies.
Yeah.
Because they were big.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They were big and they were heavy, and I had to truck them.
They'll fuck you on the shipping.
Yeah, I had to get them trucked. There was no way that UPS was picking up all those and taking them.
So what you got to do when you want cool shit?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go into spending money. You were going to start talking about my street stock.
Right. That was kind of back. I know you had a super cool car, but I don't really know, I don't remember it as being how much you might have spent on it. I know later.
Too much.
Right. But yeah. And that's,
if I'd have been a better race car driver, I'd have probably won more, because I had a damn good car. Jesus Christ. I had a Rin transmission years before they were legal, but damn, a Muncie with first and second taken out and a triple disc was expensive. I actually saved money by putting the Brin in, but my aluminum body and the Pro Power, and yes, I did run titanium bolts. There was always a rumor I had a carbon fiber drive shaft. Not true. I did not have a carbon fiber drive shaft.
He had a Mustang, and it was super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing I'm going to say. You're talking about the aluminum body, and I know you've been always don't have rules that you're not going to enforce.
That seems like a fair rule. Don't have a rule you're not going to enforce. Seems fair. But I'm kind of like, I'm not about I've not changed my ways and how I think about racing, because as a promoter, I should like these cheaper sprint, say the Race Saver sprint cars, right? That's a $5,000 total purse. People can see sprint cars. You can get 20 of them. I don't listen. There are 50 classes underneath a sprint car. If you can't afford to race a sprint car, a real sprint car, race something else.
Right.
I've never been about cost saving rules. And that's probably a terrible way of thinking for a promoter. I mean, it really is. It's not a good way to think, but it's just how I think. And I feel like I'm pretty transparent.
There's a place for everybody's budget. And if you don't fit in it, then you got to find it. Now, what sucks around here is there's not a lot of places that run the more budget class. I feel like that's our only problem.
There's 10 different kinds of modifieds around East Texas. So
unfortunately,
it's just like Stacy asks me all the time, "What is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's a modified." I know it's a modified, but you can't tell them apart. I don't know what
LGBTQ mods.
And along that same thing, I really like the LS engines because that's what I put in the Enduro car. But then I see they're having an LS late model class, right? And all they're doing is changing the cam. That's all I do. And I'm just like, why? Like, it's like that thing doesn't pull my street stock super great. I'm like, why do we need that in something that you're calling a late model?
Like 602 late models?
Yeah. Well, on the other side, Tim Randolph just told me that the street stocks, whatever the hell they call them now in California, are on 14-inch LM 1, 2, 3, and 4s. And I'm like, well, then, I don't know. It looks like a late model. It's a 3-link instead of a 4-link. They got badass motors and 14-inch tires. They're fucking late models.
Yeah.
That's stock clipped late models, econo late models.
Ricky Hayes called me the other day. He's gonna drive one of his own cars finally, but I know I watched him just through Facebook, and he's got 2 cars for that class because they have different options. He's got a small tire car and a big tire car, and it's
weird. I mean, I mean, here I talk about how much I don't like rules and all this stuff, and I mean, with that said, like I don't agree with a lot of stuff that IMCA does, but you can't argue their car count. IMCA has the best car count in the United States everywhere you go. It's unbelievable. I just went there was 30 of those Race Savers here at Lincoln Park in Indiana just 2 nights ago. But I still believe, as much as I don't really like the tire, I believe the G60 is the best tire those cars could be on. I still believe that.
Yeah. Out here, the groove slicks are super big.
Yeah. And our factory stocks, and then they run them on the Pro Mods over in Louisiana too, another modified class, obviously. But our factory stocks, I'm selling them for $65 a piece, grooved, and some of you still see where the tits are at on them. You know what I mean? Like they're fresh tires. They'll run qualifying on them or something. That's.
I don't know much about those, honestly.
You can't.
I know we run the USRA modifieds, and they're on the American Racer KK704 at the Wild West Shootout, and they actually race really well. I mean, I see all the time. People ask me when I was in Arizona before why I didn't go IMCA for modifieds, and 2 reasons. I didn't want that many cars. I knew that going IMCA would bring me more cars. We get about 50 late models, 50 modifieds, 50 X mods. I'm plenty happy with that. A 3.5-hour show is more important to me than a bigger back gate. I want a fast show for my fans and the racers.
We went more USRA this way. There's only 2 or 3 IMCA tracks around here that I can name, but the USRA stuff's really taken over the last 5 years or so.
Yeah,
we run the 704s.
The other thing with the IMCA modifieds is I believe the reason IMCA has to be so strict on their yellow flag rules is because there's so many yellow flags, and it's probably the KK. I mean, it's probably the G60 in the modified.
Yeah, I run the KK704s on my Enduro car, and I don't know if you saw it on the internet, but we have a local track that has very open rules. It lets me get in there with my LS motor. Even it's not even one carburetor on gas.
It's crazy that it's the class that has no rules pretty much, and it's the most affordable class we can race in because you can take all that old shit that was illegal and put it on your car.
Yeah, and that old orange and white car that I used to drive, that's what I'm driving. You're right. The old Jerry P car is what I'm driving in the Enduros. And I cracked off Quinn in that deal here earlier this year, but the thing is, everybody in general are just bringing stuff there that to have a good time. Daryl Hood could show up in that division and just ruin it, because there is no rules. But it's not there yet. Everybody's just having a good time, and if you start at the back, you're just going to race up forward and find somebody that is about as fast as you, and you're going to have a good race. And it's pretty cool,
Yeah, it's not a big car count or nothing, but it's a lot of fun. I was running a full frame. I don't know if y'all got them over out y'all's way, but it's like a full frame modified, basically. We call them sport mods or limited mods, and I put a Malibu body on it and was running that, and that car had been totaled out 3 times.
Yeah.
we just kept straightening the frame, and hell, I had fun with it. I barely had anything in it,
Yeah.
So that's what's cool about that class.
I don't even know what they were what class it was going to be, but I wanted to go to Amarillo to Route 66 and watch a race before I went there and promoted a race, just to see how things work. So I flew there in June. Unfortunately, it rained out, but I actually picked the race that was there because it was a 1,000-win street stock race. And I'm like, well, I'm a stock car guy. I'm coming here to promote a sprint car race, but I'm a stock car guy. And then it rained out, so I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
That guy that he come by and bought a bunch of tires a couple of weeks ago from up that way. I think that's what they raced there, some at Abilene and maybe at Amarillo.
That Route 66 is a nice place.
I've never been there. That's one of the few tracks in Texas I've never been to. It's just
super nice.
It's a ways away from us. Yeah. I mean, we go to Corpus, which is 6 hours away, but I don't ever go towards Amarillo. There's not a beach in Amarillo, so.
Yeah, it's understandable. Just ranches there.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I think we'll let you go, and maybe just in time. You kind of froze up there.
I was gonna walk out here where I got a little more light. Let's talk about kid stuff more. Did we cover anything you wanted to cover, Lee?
I think we just touched on.
Got to get closer to the house. Sorry.
It's hearing your side of a lot of stuff. It's interesting, and getting kids into the sport. I don't know if you have any last comments on that. I know we talked about you had a lot to do with them, but
as you know, I mean, I always did those Sunday fun days at Bakersfield because that was really. That's when I was running USAC on the West Coast, and I figured those kids were my future. That's how I was making a living, by making sure I had car counts. So I literally thought about that with kids and keeping them. And us, I don't know if it's ever happened with that. They probably don't do it anymore. I don't know if anybody does, but those Sunday fun days were cool because I could teach a kid what to do on Sunday instead of him learning what to do Saturday night with 1,000 people watching and being on a time constraint and a lot of stress and pressure. And I mean, heck, I'd throw a yellow flag and give guys their spots back and then talk to them. And, the parents were always pretty good. Heck, I mean, I can, when Ricky Lewis was probably 7 years old, he started racing at Santa Maria in a dwarf car, mini dwarf. Yeah. And I remember his dad before when Ricky was probably 8 or 9, said to me, "How do I get Ricky to the next level?" And I said, "He's got to be in USAC." Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Ricky's going to be the USAC CRA champion this year. I think he just won Saturday night at Santa Maria. I think he's won 8 events this year. So yeah, those little kids are our future.
Right.
If I'm gonna be in racing, we gotta be breeding our own, bringing our own racers up. So I'm always for the kid stuff, and I just like I like the kids better than I like the adults. They're a lot easier to deal with. The parents are actually, you know what? I got pretty lucky with the parents. Even, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it was out of respect or just what it was, but the kid, I think even the parents were pretty good to me.
When I talking about the people complaining, you know, one time Mike Johnson and I, Lompoc Mike Johnson, were talking, and he said, you know, he said us late model guys understand things go wrong. He said the most complaining comes from the lower divisions, and
Losing you.
yeah, I've had to laugh about that ever
know.
since.
Well,
Am I hearing you any better now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
I was just saying that, you know, Mike Johnson, Lompoc Mike, we were talking one time, and he was talking about the people complaining and stuff, and more on a per race, like as racers. And he said, you know, us late model drivers, we realize that people make mistakes. He said, yeah, we get mad, and then we get unmad, and then it goes on. He says, it's crazy just to watch a couple mini stock guys just duke it out, and one of them tell the other one that they shouldn't even be racing this division. Like, I've always thought about that. You look at some of the lower divisions and get the most of the chaos out of it.
I will tell you without a doubt, this is with now that I have promoted, I mean, I have promoted in races with mini dwarfs up to Scott Bloomquist, Donnie Schatz, right? I mean, heck, I guess higher than that, because I mean, I race directed that SRX series of Tony Stewart's, and that was probably the worst job I ever had, actually, because that was very stressful. But I could cover that in a second. But without a doubt, the hobby racer is much more difficult to deal with than the racer that does it for a living, feeding his family. Without a doubt, it's. I mean, I've done stuff at. I mean, I tell the story about how several years ago, my rule at my races for the Wild West Shootout are don't stop on the track. I'm not the Rule of Outlaws. I'm not Lucas Oil. I'm not pulling your sheet metal. I don't have the staff. Don't stop on the racetrack or you're going to back. We got to keep the show moving.
Yeah.
Well, we had a 10,000 to win late model race. Tim McCready's running third, and he stops for yellow and calls me over to his car. And I'm like, because I race directed from turn 4. And I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, can you pull my quarter panel? I said, no. And now you got to go to the back. And all he said was, really? Well, afterwards, I went to apologize to him, and he's like, oh, you don't owe me an apology. My crew chief called me a fucking idiot when I got to the pits and said that you told us 3 times not to stop. But I feel like if I'd have done that same thing to an IMCA modified at Santa Maria,
right,
probably still wouldn't be talking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's the difference.
You also, I know, what was the deal with Scott Bloomquist? You had some kind of a deal with that he got put to the back, or he got spun right at the end of a race or something.
Scott actually was leading by 4 seconds, a 15,000 to win race on the final lap, and a lap car spun out in front of him, and he wadded his car up. And I tell this story about Scott a lot. You know, Scott didn't have the greatest reputation with a lot of people. And I think the best time to judge somebody is not when things are going well. The best time to judge somebody is when things are going bad, how they act when things are going bad. And after that race, he had a bad week all week. Leading by 4 seconds, wads his car up, doesn't win the 15 grand. And after the races, I hear a little while, 20 minutes afterwards, hey Chris, on the radio, I hear, hey Chris, Scott Bloomquist is up here at the office looking for you. And I'm like, oh shit. I go up there and he's like, hey, before I headed out, I just wanted to thank you for the hospitality. And I didn't even save the guy a pit spot. I didn't do anything special for him.
Right.
Like, oh, you're welcome. I told him how, oh man, I'm like, man, your fans are going crazy on Facebook. And he's like, why? And I'm like, well, they wanted me to give you your spot back. And he's like, hey, you can't do that. That's ridiculous. And, you know, so he was extremely cordial with me. And I'm like, that was probably in the worst of times, you know, and he was good. He was good to me. So that's why I wanted to honor I mean, it's the only time Scott ever raced for me. And that's why I wanted to honor him at the Wild West Shootout this year when he died, was basically because of that moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only deal I had with him. I was going to tell you that my SRX story really quick is that I took the job race directing that. Do you know what that series is? The one that was live on CBS?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told Tony Stewart, I'm like, I'm only doing this so I can meet Bill Elliott. It's literally, it absolutely was 100% the truth. But I did not, it's crazy. It is so weird because it's just the opposite of what I'm used to. It was live. It was on CBS. I sat next to the CBS producer and everything was by the second. And they would tell me what to do, what not to do, when to throw a yellow. You could not go over. If we were not done at 10 p.m., they were switching to, I don't know, Matlock. I don't have no idea what they were switching to tell you the truth. I don't watch much regular television. But oh my God, between the stress of not being the guy that wanted to have the race cut off. Now, I know when it went to ESPN didn't care if they went over. But between the stress of that and then just race directing what I thought were the greatest race car drivers in the world. I mean, Helio Castroneves, that's a 4-time Indy 500 winner.
Right.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart, all these guys, like that was absolutely the most stressful. That was more stress than promoting. I tell people the Wild West Shootout cost me $750,000 to put on before I make $1. That was more stress than promoting the Wild West Shootout. For a blue collar guy, let me tell you, $750,000 is a lot of damn money to have to risk.
Yeah.
But I will tell you about Helio Castroneves is that here's a guy that's a 4-time Indy 500 champion. If anybody could walk around arrogant, it'd be him. That guy came and found me and thanked me after every single race. And I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
The other thing I'll say is that, so Tony Stewart was the boss. I mean, he owned that series. Another guy that gets a bad rap for, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure he probably can be an asshole. He probably knows that. But I've dealt with Tony Stewart in 3 situations. He has raced for me. He's a friend of mine. And I've worked for him. In all 3 situations, he's been great to me.
Yeah.
He's actually a pretty good guy. The dog, I just got a dog 2 days ago, a puppy. And that puppy is his dog's sister. Not that really matters.
That's cool. Yeah.
And you're at a spot now where you are getting them calls from SRX, and I don't know if you want to touch on it or not, but the other day you mentioned you got a call from Eldora, and that's got to be pretty cool to at least know that people are thinking of you and like the way you're doing
something right. Doing something right.
You know, it is. I mean, I think, yeah, it does make me think, oh, I wonder if them, back in my early days in Santa Maria, which, hey, I didn't know as much back then, right? I'm much more experienced, but I think about a couple of them guys who used to scream and yell at me about how horrible things were. And I'm like, yes, I did know what I was doing. So I do think about that. In the big picture, stuff like Eldora, I mean, yeah, it was cool. Doesn't really do a lot of good. I mean, I think part of that started because I established a pretty good relationship with Tony. I mean, there was one night where in the SRX series, the pavement people like you to talk to them under green flag conditions. And I struggled with that as a race director. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
But apparently he says I was saying something under green that I wasn't supposed to be saying, and I swore to God that I wasn't. And he said to me after the races one time, I'm telling you, I was not saying that. And he's like, listen, I am running around here in 13th with this piece of shit car, just trying to think of something to be pissed off at you about. And that's all I've got. So just take it. I'm like, all right, fine. I said it, whatever. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, last August, out of the blue, 9:30 in the morning, I get a text message. The guy says he's, Tony Stewart's general manager for Stewart Racing. And I don't really tell this story publicly. I mean, I have told some people. It's something to be proud of. And I didn't lose that. It's not like I lost out to a chump. But he says, hey, this is Brett Freud, the general manager for Tony Stewart Racing, would you be interested in talking to us about being the GM of Eldora Speedway? Kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, well, yeah, wow. So I thought about it for about an hour before I texted him back, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be at the World 100 in a couple of weeks if you guys want to talk then. And he's like, we'd actually like to talk first thing tomorrow morning. And I was like, oh shit. So we had an hour and a half Zoom call, and I'm like, man, the first thing I said was, why me? And there's definitely more qualified people out there. Why me? And I mean, he gave me the best answer in the world. He said, well, Tony and I had a list of 12. We narrowed it down to 3. And what's most important to Tony is the reputation of Eldora Speedway and taking care of the racers, the fans, the employees, and the sponsors. And we think you're the best in the country at that. And I was like, wow. I mean, but once again, I'm like, I'm a very part-time promoter. I still believe there's definitely more qualified people than me. So we talked, and I'm like, there's a lot of financial pressure there. And he's like, there's no financial pressure. We just need you to do what you do. And it has 7 full. I mean,
Uh-oh. We've lost him. He's froze up.
He's froze. Probably battery went dead. We've kept him on here so long.
Maybe. I don't know. Well,
buddy, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
And
sorry you froze up there.
Yeah, sorry you froze. I don't know if that's on our end or your end, but you disappeared.
Yeah. Well,
and we do appreciate it a ton.
Oh yeah, that's some good stuff, man. That's pretty cool stories there.
Yeah.
With some pretty big names.
Yeah, and it's fun just because he just was a street racer, when we were racing street stocks at the same time.
Yeah.
And he has.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting metal.
Yeah, well. Sometimes she be like that, you
yeah.
know. But hell, we appreciate everybody for following along and sticking with us, and we will figure out who we're gonna have on next week. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Yeah,
and we'll get something figured out.
We're still just kind of winging this deal.
Yeah, we don't know until we know.
But so anyway, I guess let's just get off of here.